And one is clear that he is a person of great interest to the Kenyan government because it believes that he is one of the foremost leaders of the youth movement in this country. And after the president had promised to be the advocate of hustlers, clearly, when he was promising to do that, he just wanted a stand for elections to be elected. He didn't mean it, or he has abandoned them. And so there is this perception that one of the foremost advocates now for the hustlers, for the middle class, is Boniface Mwangi. And that is why he's being pursued more than perhaps any other presidential candidate, to the extent that there are these arrests on a very regular basis, even threats on his life. And it is clear to me that all these activities that the government is undertaking are not going to stop the youth movement, and indeed a movement of all Kenyans of goodwill who want different, who want change. And whatever the government does to Mwangi is one individual in a huge movement. One might think that the movement is now dormant, but there is always time for a movement to reflect and to organize even better. So targeting Mwangi is not really going to make a difference, because even if he was not there, and he must be there, he has family, he has a cause, and his family is even here. The family that at some point was made to go to exile because of the threats that were imminent. So even if anything happens to Mwangi, in actual fact, that will fuel the revolution that is on the way for democracy, for a proper country, and all that kind of stuff. We know that Mwangi, among other progressive leaders, are agitating for a country where the constitution is respected, where young people have employment, where there is no corruption, where there is rule of law, there is observance of human rights, so that Kenya does not become a failed state. Because this country, as we all know, is an anchor state in the East African region. And therefore, the young people have consistently said that they will not allow it to go to the dogs, to fail. So I think some of what I've heard from young people and others is the government actually should offer security to presidential officials who have announced, and particularly Bonface, so that we know he is secure, so that nothing happens to him. And finally, I would like to say that part of why there is a lot of interest in Mwangi is it is probably believed that he's one of the people who have the capacity to get young people to be in charge of a 2002 moment in our country come 2027. So young people are watching, Kenya's middle class is watching, Generation Zote are watching when there is this targeting of an individual like has happened in Uganda, Besigye, as he said, Tanzania, Tundu Lissu. So these governments in the East African region must deliver and not resort to violence, to intimidation, to assassinations, and so on. They are not elected to disappear their people. they are elected to provide for their people. And if they are not able to do that, they can as well resign and let other people take over. And it is indeed true, as Mwangi has said, these young people, they have time on their side. And some of the politicians of your years, politicians from the Moi era, because those from the Kenyatta era are no more, but from Moi era going to the present, they are old and tired without important ideas. And the young people are saying that we require, to breathe freshness into Kenya, into East Africa, into Africa. And therefore, it is good to accept that this is a reality and deal with that kind of reality instead of thinking that intimidations and arrests and trolling and all those kinds of things will provide a solution. Thank you.
Yes.